The foul-mouthed and ill-tempered anti-hero known as Deadpool is back. After a huge debut, the movie cost less than $60 million to make and made almost $800 million back. You knew a sequel was coming. Within weeks of release, it was obvious another Deadpool adventure was hitting theaters, but details have been scarce till now. CBR is here to fill you in on everything that is currently known about Wade Wilson's second attempt at not being a superhero. For those of you who love ad-free viewing and free things, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from CBR, The Gamer, Screen Rant, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. How sweet is that? Sign up for the Premium by clicking the link to start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels. It can be hard to keep up on the continuing adventures of the motor-mouthed mercenary, but if you subscribe to our channel, you'll find out the latest news first.
Because as of now, you only have one course of action. Star in your own horror films.
Sweet release. Waiting for your favorite cinematic superhero adaptation is often the best part of the movie. Imagining how fantastic it's gonna be, seeing characters you never believed could star in their own movie, discussing what storylines could be adapted in comic book stores or on social media.
Thousands of people want to be Paris Hilton and nobody wants to be Spider-Man.
Unfortunately, a good portion of the time we've left disappointed by the outcome. The movie on screen not quite living up to the cinematic nirvana we've built within our imaginations. Deadpool proved to be the exact opposite. It came out swinging, often by the belt. It combined lowbrow but hilarious humor with awesome action to give most fans the Merc With A Mouth movie they always wanted. Fans have been waiting for the continuing adventures of Wade Wilson and his frenemies since February of 2016, and while the internet was full of casting chatter and directing drama, there is one question on everyone's mind: when do we get more freaking Deadpool? You still have some time to patiently wait, but the countdown can now begin. Deadpool 2 will start raining F-bombs and bullet casings on June 1st, 2018, in a theater near you. Moving from a February to midsummer release date mean Fox is putting a lot of pressure on the handsome shoulders of Ryan Reynolds to deliver an even bigger follow-up to Deadpool's successful debut.
And please don't make the super suit green or animated.
Currently in production. Until you have your first few frames of film in the can or footage on the hard drive, a movie is simply an idea. Once you begin production, you're on the fast track to releasing your creation into theaters. Deadpool 2 has been all talk, no action, until just a few weeks ago. Now it's one giant step closer to punching you in the face with its awesomeness. Productions kicked off on Deadpool 2 in late June. The star of the film, Ryan Reynolds, wasted no time in letting everyone know he was back and proudly wearing the red and black spandex. He tweeted out a picture of himself laying in full costume in front of a giant mansion.
Yep, that's a good one.
In the photo, he's laying on his back, looking into the sky. One can only assume he's counting how many clouds look like chimichangas. Hatley Castle, where Deadpool 2 kicked off production, is located in Greater Victoria, British Columbia. The historic site serves as the home of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, or the X-Mansion as the cool mutants call it, for most films in the Fox Marvel universe. The castle actually has quite the superhero lineage. It was once the home of Lex Luthor in Smallville, and currently is the home of Oliver Queen in the TV series Arrow.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
XFactor. Given that Deadpool 2 is filming footage in and around Hatley Castle, it means that we're going to see more mutants in the sequel, and some of those mutants are going to be X-Men. The first movie featured a new iteration of Colossus to Fox's version of the Marvel Universe. Instead of using a human actor, then putting him into costume, the producers decided to use an all-CGI version of the character, with an actor providing the voice. It's been confirmed that Colossus will be returning to offer Deadpool some hero-to-anti-hero professional advice.
I did not tell him to do that. Absolutely not.
One of the reasons Colossus is back is because his character survived the first film. He was saved during the final battle with Angel Dust when his protege does what she does best: blow stuff up using her mutant power to generate an explosive force, all while maintaining her teenage angst. While her character, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, was a late addition to the first movie, Brianna Hildebrand showed her X-Men in training is more than just cool mutant power. In interviews about the sequel, Hildebrand stated her character has matured, but still going to have that punk edge. She's also promised a cooler outfit as well. Blue and yellow spandex is so 2 years ago.
Do you like what you see? No.
Guess who's back? Colossus and Negasonic aren't the only characters returning to the wacky world of Wade Wilson. Almost all of his cohorts are returning for a second go-round. Wade's love interest, Vanessa, will once again be joining him in his shenanigans.
Ow, like a Band-Aid, just give it a Audi 5000.
Actress Marina Baccarin returns. Her character, the catalyst for the entire first movie, Deadpool himself told us as much when he broke the fourth wall in the opening scene of Deadpool to remind us the reason he's killing all those bad guys. There has also been rumors of Vanessa of finding her own powers, gaining the ability to shapeshift as her cosmic counterpart Copycat does. Deadpool gets his two BFFs back as well. Weasel and Blind Al are in the film, as their actors TJ Miller and Leslie Uggams respectively have confirmed.
You look like an avocado.
While Weasel spent most of the first film as a comedic foil for Deadpool, Miller hopes his character can see a little bit more action in the second one. In addition, Deadpool's roommate and possibly hostage, Blind Al, returns to trade insults with him. Uggams and Reynolds had tremendous on-screen chemistry, and we can't wait to see them verbally joust again. One other fan favorite coming back, Dopinder, the cab driver who simply wanted the girl of his dreams and ended up changing his life by picking up his most unusual client.
I know, right? Who's to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Pulverine.
Writer's gonna write. Two other people that are rejoining Reynolds during his second outing as Bea Arthur's #1 fan are the first film's writers, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. The duo started writing their first Deadpool all the way back in 2010. Their final draft of the script, they stated, contained over 70% of their first. While the movie languished in production purgatory, Reese and Wernick, along with the film's biggest champion, Reynolds, kept the Deadpool flame lit. Their goal was to find a way to combine the darker parts of Deadpool's origin story.
Did I say this was a love story? No. It's a horror movie.
With the cartoon-like antics that Deadpool always seems to find himself in. They did cut several characters, including a major one in the world of Deadpool, Cable. We'll talk more about him later, but the writing team was glad with the removal. Thankfully, they can now have more time to flesh out the second film's new relationships. The script for the second film has been in the works before the release of Deadpool. In addition to working every day with Reynolds, the script was given a once-over from Drew Goddard, writers of the movies Cloverfield and The Martian, for which Goddard was nominated for an Academy Award.
So you're just gonna lie there and whimper?
In the meantime, you might want to leave the room.
Nice to meet ya. While almost everyone involved in the first film is back, one major player is not returning. Director Tim Miller left the film in October of 2016. The reason given was simply creative differences, though the rumor mill had a little bit more to say. People behind the scenes have stated that Miller was frustrated with the amount of creative control given to Reynolds on the sequel. In addition, Miller wanted to make more stylized story, giving the audiences a different look at Deadpool. Reynolds wanted to keep the tone of the follow-up closer to the first film, a more madcap and raunchy R-rated comedy and action hybrid. There were also several disagreements over casting some of the new faces being brought aboard. It only took a month to find a replacement to helm the movie. David Litch was among several candidates interviewed, and apparently those meetings went well, because Deadpool 2 will be his third time sitting in the director's chair. Litch co-directed the first John Wick and also directed another comic book adaptation to be released this summer, Atomic Blonde. The former stunt double for Brad Pitt began his career behind the lens as a stunt coordinator before moving on to a second unit director for films like The Wolverine and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Amazing character. Bionic arm, time travel. We have no idea who we're going to cast yet, but it could be anybody.
The story so far. Hidden behind the swear words and gratuitous gore was a sweet story in Deadpool. Wade's search for redemption and his girl proved just as important as the special effects and fourth wall breaking. There is little known about the plot right now, but reading the tea leaves, we can make a few educated guesses. As we learned during the post-credit scene of the first Deadpool movie,
we're going to have Cable.
Cable will be joining Deadpool during the sequel. In addition, the new film will feature the mutant Domino in a significant role. They won't be the only two new mutants messing with Deadpool. Black Tom Cassidy, a villainous mutant who can manipulate, bond with, and project energy with plant life, is also in the film. He's the cousin of the X-Men Banshee, providing another connection to the Fox X-Men franchise. As we mentioned, Reynolds has a huge amount of creative control over the movie, so don't expect a huge departure from the first film. The film star has promised to make the sequel rated R, so the film will still be intended for mature audiences. The producers also plan to use a small budget, keeping the look and feel similar to the first film. You should also expect plenty of jokes made about the state of superhero movies and the quality of movie sequels.
You will die alone. If you could die. Ideally.
Playing dominoes. One of the two new major characters featured in the sequel will undoubtedly be unlucky for Deadpool. Domino, a character with a complicated past that has ties to Deadpool's origin, will bring her odds-making superpower to the second outing of the Merc With A Mouth. Portrayed by relative newcomer Zazie Beetz, Domino, also known by her real name Nina Thurman, has a distinctive look and unique power. She has a special subconscious telekinetic ability that changes things in her environment to best work out in her favor. Essentially, she has a lot of good luck, and her foes have a case of bad luck. She's also an expert in marksmanship and martial arts. It will be interesting to see how her power set is displayed on the big screen. There was a long line of actresses in Hollywood to play Domino, and after a lengthy search, the producers decided Beetz was the best choice to bring one of Deadpool's fellow mercenaries to life. Fans of the show Atlanta already know Beetz can act and are anxious to see how she interacts with Reynolds. In the comics, Domino has a long-standing relationship with Deadpool, including also being experimented on to release her mutant powers, eerily similar to the transformation of Wade Wilson to Deadpool.
Did I leave the stove on?
High-speed Cable. While fans are excited to finally see Domino on screen, they are elated to see a live-action version of Cable. His backstory is complicated, but his adventures with Deadpool in the comics are favorites of hardcore and casual comic book fans alike. The character was introduced in the late 80s, co-created by the same writer and artist responsible for creating Deadpool, Rob Liefeld. He's a time-traveling child of Scott Summers, Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, a clone of Summers' main love, Jean Grey. As a baby, Nathan Summers, as he was named, was infected with a techno-virus and then sent to the future in hopes to find a cure for his condition. The future turned out to be awful, but having powerful mutant parents created a young man with incredible telekinetic and telepathic abilities, ones he used to find a way to make the virus work for him. After growing up, Cable decided to travel to the past to prevent the horrific future he came from. He'll be played by Josh Brolin in the film, who's pulling comic double duty after being the voice of Thanos in the MCU. Almost every actor in Hollywood was associated with the role, but ultimately producers chose Brolin, who, based off his Instagram, started training immediately to get the big guns needed to carry the large weapons Cable likes to use.
That's the coolest name ever!
The X-Force is with you. If you get Deadpool, Cable, and Domino all in one movie, fans of the comic books can safely assume a new team of superheroes will eventually be getting their own movie, X-Force. The group of mutants is an offshoot of the X-Men, often using a more militant and aggressive approach in dealing with sticky situations. The group's first leader was Cable, and one of the earliest members was Domino. Given Deadpool's penchant for shooting first and never asking questions, he was almost a perfect fit for the group, other than the fact that he doesn't tend to play well with others. Other reasons fans are getting excited over a potential team-up is that Reynolds is rumored to be co-writing an X-Force movie, along with third outing for Deadpool. There's also the now denied rumor that the post-credit scene for Deadpool 2 would introduce Sunspot, Feral, and Shatterstar. All three are members of X-Force. We know that 20th Century Fox has an X-Force movie in development, and it seems logical to use Deadpool to introduce a few more mutants to the world that Reynolds, Reese, and Wernick are building. That being said, don't expect them to be heavily involved. While it may not be a post-credit scene, there will probably be a small shout-out, even if it's a blink and miss it moment.
See? You don't need to be a superhero to get the girl.
What do you hope happens at Deadpool 2? Are you cool with the direction the film is headed, or are you getting nervous? Let us know in the comments below. We got more great videos on Deadpool and all your other favorite characters, so be sure to subscribe to CBR's channel and check out other exciting videos on our playlist. Thanks for watching.